r/askreddit, what's unusual about your body? Do you tick twice per beat since you have two valves? I had my aortic valve replaced, so I just know the one tick. I was born with one kidney. But my one kidney is the size of two combined. So I have one super kidney. Adult me. That reminded me of my father. A couple of years ago he felt sick and had to be hospitalized. Fortunately, it turned out that it was some nasty infection, but he recovered quite quickly. During the checkup the doctors discovered that he has 3 kidneys. That's a nice upgrade to know when you're in your late 50s, laughing face. Is it horseshoe kidney situation, or just one regular shaped kidney in the regular place, being giant? 2 of my toes on each foot are webbed halfway. The index, and middle toe, each side. Nothing else. I can't swim any faster, which I personally think is bullshit. Same. The frog life chose us, brother. When I was born, none of my organs were in the places they should be. Had 5 surgeries after birth to get everything moved around, and put to right places. Luckily, no issues since. Organs. Sword. My hair started losing its color when I was 10 years old. I used to be brunette. My hair has been completely silver and white since my 20s. I have a rare condition in which my large intestine is smashed over to one side of my torso and my small intestines are smashed over to the other side. The only reason we discovered it is that one day, they decided to physically switch places, causing extreme pain. They have switched places a total of 4 times in my life. It's really painful and kinda gross hearing your goopy bits flop around inside of you. The second half of this sounds straight out of a body horror alien movie. My torso is longer than it should be in comparison to my legs. Like, my legs stopped growing before my upper body did or something. I knew a guy who was the opposite. When he was sitting at a table, he seemed regular height, as in he had an average torso length. But, when he stood up he was like 66 or something. It was all in his legs. My internal organs are all flipped 180 degrees. So everything's backwards. Situs inversus totalis. Edit, sorry, I should have clarified better. Not flipped in place but completely mirrored. So organs are on opposite sides as well. Have you considered facing the other way? The only compliment I've had on my looks was that I have unusually attractive knees. I didn't know bees could use Reddit. Send knees. Small hole at the base of my spine just before my asshole. To clarify, I'm not talking about the actual asshole itself, I'm talking about a small hole an inch above it. Edit, it's not a cyst, I was born with it. My grandaunt's hair was said to be so black that it had a blue shimmer to it in the sun. Until she was 17, then it turned snow white. My 3rd child has this, and when she was 1 day old and the pediatrician pointed it out to me, my husband announced he has that too. So I learned a lot that day. When I was born my umbilical cord was inside out, and it was the first time the hospital I was born at had ever seen anything like it. So they asked my mom if it could be sent to a nearby university to be shown to students in order to show them what the inside of one looks like in real life. I am going to that exact university next year and will be on a quest to take back my umbilical cord. Provided it's not been thrown away, I don't know how long they last. Quest added, return to sender. I sneeze when really hungry. I didn't think I would find anyone else that does this. Everyone I told thought that I was fucking insane. Oh. My sister does this. She starts sneezing, her husband makes her a sandwich, otherwise she turns evil. Kind of an early warning system. The heart inside of me isn't mine. And that I was on life support that caused nerve damage in my leg, so I don't get goosebumps on my left thigh. It wasn't yours originally, but the original owner gave it to you. No takesy backsies. I can't burp. Been like this all my life. Beer is a nightmare though, just bloats me. Have an endoscopy done, you may have a hernia in your esophagus. My sweat is extra acidic. I can fully rust guitar strings in a week or 2, and have eaten holes on 2 laptops where I rest my hands, both happened within a year of use. I had the same issue up until about a month ago when I hiccuped really hard and it made me burp sort of like a recoil. That event must have subconsciously unlocked my ability to burp, and now I burp uncontrollably to the point where it almost makes me throw up sometimes. Now I just want to go back to before I could burp. R/no burp, there are many of us. I'm a medical mystery in that I got a salmonella infection in a cyst on my spleen, and to this day no one knows how it possibly got there. Somebody stabbed you with raw chicken and it formed a cyst. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. I have 2 uvulas. Oh god. I need sleep. I read this as 2 vulvas. Uvulas. I sweat on the left side of my head when I even think about spicy foods. The worst part is I love spicy food. In my 60s and I don't have gray hair. It's mousy brown, so when people insist I dyed it, I tell them I wouldn't pay money for such a dull color. You lucky dog. This is a whole ass superpower. Man has acid no jutsu. I'm the opposite, I just turned 20 not too long ago and I have a growing streak of gray hair right down the middle. One of my balls hangs lower than the other two. Oh, that's norm, wait a second. Shit. I can't read properly and assume the next words. I have a large facial scar, literally just like Scar from The Lion King. My hair and beard just make it worse. Sucks meeting new people, especially kids. Use it to teach kids lessons like the armless dude in Arrested Development. I have complete heterochromia. My daughter was born with sectoral heterochromia. Just a tiny dot of brown in her blue eyes. She turns 20 next week and more than 2/3 of her left eye is now brown. Eye doc suspects she will have complete heterochromia by maybe 30 or so. My big toes are almost twice the size of everyone else I know. They're so wide that I can stand only on my big toes without it hurting. I'm told my feet look more like paws than human feet. Pick. And GT, eaten holes on 2 laptops where I rest my hands. Shit, you too? Aluminum or plastic? I corrode the fuck out of MacBooks that way. It's like the shittiest version of rusting grasp, cast as a cantrip. I have 2 uvulas, those hangy ball things in the back of your throat. Second time I've read this response in this thread, and the second time I've read it as vulva instead of uvula. My circumcision was fucked up so my dick looked like the Demogorgon. Edit, wow. This is the most love my wiener has ever gotten. Love you all. Tie for the support. Flower Wiener Gang. Ouch. How old were you when you had it? I've never ever have had so big desire to get a dick pic sent to me. My stomach is 1/10 the size it should be. I'm a cheap date because I can get drunk off nothing and it's nearly impossible for me to overdrink. Do you have to eat smaller portions more often rather than 3 bigger meals a day or? I can pick up a tennis ball with only the toes of 1 foot. Edit, I'm willing to send a photo set. You have to PM me to get on the list though. I'm sure you can have a huge OnlyFans following with this talent. Keep evolving. Bufotoxin is next. I have Chiari malformation type I. My brain is too large and doesn't fit in my skull, so my cerebellum gets smushed into my spinal column. I had surgery to correct the issue, but now I'm down my C1 vertebrae and a chunk of my skull. But you're just big-brained, literally. I can dislocate my shoulder at will. The bit of gum that is under your top lip that is in the center, like the little partition. Mine went through the middle of my teeth and was attached to the underside of my mouth. I had it completely removed. I feel dead if I sleep even 10 minutes less than 8 hours. Edit, thanks a lot for the award. I'm the opposite, I feel like my back is broken right where it meets my hip if I sleep even a minute past 7.5 HRS. Wake up anytime before that and I'm 100% fine. I got some conjoined toes. I can vibrate my eyeballs. I can't get a brain freeze. My throat gets too cold long before and I start coughing as a response. I had no idea there are others like me. I've never had a brain freeze, and sometimes people remark on how quickly I can consume freezy drinks. I hate the throat freezies, they hurt. My heart is bionic at this point. I've had 4 open heart surgeries, aorta and mitral valves are now titanium. It makes a ticking noise like a clock. I'm only 30. Hopefully I live longer. I have pectus excavatum and was born with a 3rd ear on my cheek. The 3rd ear was removed with plastic surgery when I was a child, but now I have a patch on my cheek that can't grow facial hair. Let's go pectus excavatum squad. Used to be really insecure as my chest was so different to everyone else's, now I don't give a fuck as my wife and 3-year-old use it to rest their heads in and call it their snuggle spot. Man's got ubercharge heart.